The discovery. Jaxon Delaney leaned against the hull of his battered starship, the Starhound, wiping sweat off his brow as he examined the barren expanse of Tau-Cerra V. The planet was a forsaken rock on the outer rim, devoid of civilization except for one grim secret. Rumors of a hidden prison complex built by the corporate conglomerate, Nexus-Interstellar. Jaxon, a former mercenary turned rogue freedom fighter, had heard whispers in the shadowy corners of galactic trade stations about illegal experiments on captured alien species. The whispers turned into screams when a former Nexus employee, on his deathbed, confessed to the existence of a grotesque alien prison. Jackson's conscience wouldn't allow him to ignore the story. Something about it struck a chord deep within him. With his starship docked in a desolate canyon, Jaxon activated his stealth suit and made his way to the hidden facility. As he approached, the air thickened with the stench of decay, and the atmosphere crackled with an unnatural energy. The prison was a labyrinth of rusted metal corridors, poorly lit and reeking of old waste. Nexus Interstellar had abandoned it years ago, leaving behind whatever was too difficult or too dangerous to move. But Jaxon was no stranger to danger. The prisoner. Jaxon pushed through the debris-littered halls until he came upon a massive door, marked with faded warning signs in alien script and human glyphs alike. A soft, inhuman whimper came from behind it. With a grunt of effort, he forced the door open. The sight that met his eyes made his stomach churn. The creature inside was unlike anything he had ever seen. A towering, sinewy figure hunched in the corner of its cage, its pale skin covered in layers of filth and waste. The smell was overwhelming, a mixture of rot and despair. The alien's once glowing eyes were dull and lifeless, its frame so emaciated that its bones seemed ready to pierce through its translucent skin. Jackson's instincts screamed at him to run, but something in those eyes, something beyond the pain and degradation, spoke of intelligence. Perhaps even a plea for help. "Hey," Jaxon called softly, kneeling by the bars. "I'm not here to hurt you." The alien flinched at his voice, its long fingers curling into claws as if expecting more torment. But when no blow came, it turned its head slightly, revealing eyes filled with desperation. Jackson's heart clenched. The creature had been left to rot, likely a failed experiment discarded by Nexus when they pulled out. He had to get it out of there. "I'm getting you out," Jaxon promised. He didn't know if the creature could understand him, but the way its eyes widened gave him hope. The escape. Freeing the alien was easier said than done. The cage was reinforced with energy fields, but after some trial and error, Jaxon managed to disable them using an old power core he'd scavenged earlier. The cage's rusted metal groaned as he pried the door open. The alien hesitated, its weakened legs trembling as it took its first steps in what must have been years. Jaxon reached out a hand, which it tentatively grasped, its touch cold and damp. The facility's alarms suddenly blared to life. Nexus must have rigged an automatic alert system to activate in case of a breach. "Time to move," Jaxon shouted, tugging the alien along. They sprinted through the winding corridors, dodging automated drones that had reactivated in response to the alarms. Jackson's blaster spat red-hot plasma, clearing a path through the decaying defenses. But the real challenge came when they reached the surface. The skies above Tau-Cerra V roared with the arrival of Nexus security ships, eager to protect their dark secrets. Jaxon knew they wouldn't survive a straight-up fight. "Hold on to me," Jaxon yelled. He activated his suit's short-range teleporter, the last charge he had saved for emergencies. In a blinding flash, they reappeared in the cargo hold of the Starhound. "Let's get the hell out of here," Jaxon muttered as he raced to the cockpit, the alien slumping behind him, too exhausted to move. The ship's engines roared to life, and they shot off into the atmosphere, narrowly dodging the Nexus ship's plasma fire. The healing. With Tau-Cerra V behind them, Jaxon set the autopilot to jump to the outer rim colonies and return to the cargo hold. The alien was curled up on the floor, shivering. Jaxon rummaged through his supplies, finding a canister of nutrient paste and a water flask. "Here, eat," he said, offering the paste. The alien hesitated, then sniffed at the food before devouring it hungrily. Jaxon watched in silence, wondering how long it had been since this being had last tasted sustenance. After a moment, the alien spoke, its voice a soft, melodic whisper that seemed to vibrate in the air. "Thank you." Jaxon blinked in surprise. "You understand me?" The creature nodded, its eyes growing brighter as it ate. "I was a scholar, taken from my world. Nexus wanted secrets of our technology. They failed." Jaxon's fists clenched. Nexus had captured this being, tortured it, and discarded it when it was no longer useful. He could only imagine the horrors it had endured. "You're free now," Jaxon said. "I'll get you somewhere safe." The alien's eyes softened. "You are unlike the others. Humans they took, but you gave?" Jaxon shrugged, trying to hide the lump in his throat. "Not all of us are monsters. What's your name?" The alien hesitated, then whispered, "Zehron." "Zehron, huh? Well, you're safe now, Zehron. Let's get you back to your people." The revelation. As the Starhound approached the coordinates Zehron provided, Jaxon was greeted by the sight of an ancient, hidden city hovering above the clouds of an uncharted world. Massive crystalline structures glowed with an otherworldly light, powered by technology that was centuries beyond anything humanity had developed. Zehron's people welcomed their lost scholar back with open arms, their melodic voices filling the air with songs of gratitude. As a reward, they offered Jaxon a small, iridescent crystal, a power source capable of fueling his ship indefinitely. But more than that, Jaxon felt something he hadn't in a long time, a sense of purpose. He had saved a life, freed a prisoner, and uncovered a truth that the galaxy would never have believed. As the Starhound left the alien world, Zehron's words echoed in his mind. "You gave hope, Jaxon Delaney. May you always find the light." Jaxon set his course for the next distant star, a new mission burning in his heart. There were more secrets to uncover, more prisoners to free. Nexus-Interstellar's dark empire would not go unchallenged, not while Jaxon was still breathing.